SMT Nation, we are back. Nation, this is the second of the big cable operators to report their earnings. And this is important because this gives us insight on what's going on with the mobile businesses too. So T-Mobile, AT&T, and Verizon. So I always cover as much as I can within the industry, and I try to make sure we cover all our bases because they're all connected. All right, so let's dig into the numbers. I'm going to give you guys all the data points, and then I'll give you some of my kind of perceptions on it and a little bit of opinion on my predictions. All right, so for starters, Charter Communications Spectrum lost 171,000 residential broadband subs. I'm not sure about the business subscriber number, so I can't comment to that, but I can tell you that the number of losses is worse than analysts predicted. I think the analyst prediction was 155,000 losses, and it coming in at about 171,000 means that it's worse than expected. The connection or the reason for this loss appears to be because of the ACP, Hurricane Helene, and Milton losses. So it's all kind of tied into all of that. There was a lot of losses in TV as well, but with respect to subscriber losses from ACP, they're saying that the worst is behind them, and they're basically saying that's it for the losses. The specific number was 140,000 in ACP losses, and they're calling these non-pay and voluntary churn numbers, with 20,000 being tied to hurricane or extreme weather impacts. Okay, so we'll chalk this up. We'll say, okay, this is a one-time event, and it's unlikely to be repeated, but it doesn't change the fact that for the last several years, since fixed wireless access, Charter Spectrum, along with Comcast and Xfinity, have been losing to fixed wireless access, and that's not changing. Now, according to reports, fixed wireless access, the 5G home internet sellers, appear to be slowing a bit, and then fiber builders are basically going to be slowing as well. So those are the main two competitors for companies like Charter Spectrum and Comcast Xfinity. So we'll see if that is indeed the case. We should start to see numbers improving for all of the cable operators. For what it's worth, to discuss kind of the network side, rural build-outs, network upgrades, hybrid fiber and coax for Charter will continue to be large initiatives for them. They're looking to upgrade their networks to the point where they can offer a fiber-like experience, including symmetrical gigabit speed and some kind of like 8 phase 1 markets or something. I'm looking through, some markets, it's like Cincinnati, Lexington, Kentucky. They're saying that a lot of these places are starting to see the 2 gig down and 1 gig up speeds, which makes them more competitive with fiber. So if you have been choosing fiber because of symmetrical speeds in that high, gigabit range, then that's going to make Spectrum much more competitive. But, let's be honest, guys, there's nothing better than fiber, and the potential capacity can't be touched. It is number one. It is the best, right? Cable's always going to be kind of second place. With respect to rural build-outs, there's 117,000 subsidized fiber passings in Q4, ending the year with over 800,000 of those. So they're still increasing their reach, making their network bigger. And rural passings are going to increase 450,000 through the rest of 2025. With respect to residential breakdown, they added 41,000 rural subsidized customers. And I think the goal is to get to, 300,000 by the end of this year. So that means they're expecting an uptick. CapEx, they've got a lot that they're going to be spending this year. They're expecting CapEx to start getting reduced in the following years. And then with respect to mobility, it says here that they added 529,000 mobile lines. I think the breakdown on that is 511 residential and then 18 business. That's down slightly from a year ago when they did 546,000 in that quarter. But we are fast approaching 10 million mobile lines for Charter Spectrum. They do a nice job of growing there. Although it's not a very profitable business, they seem to grow there. Charter estimates that 87% of its mobile traffic now runs on its own Wi-Fi and CBRS networks. That's a claim that I find very hard to believe, to be honest with you guys, but it is important because that means they're spending less money for Verizon coverage, right? Remember, they're an MVNO in that respect, so they have to pay Verizon for the gigs of data that their customers use on the piggybacking of that network. So Charter says that they've deployed CBRS across a multitude of markets, which they're deploying those CBRS radios. Specifically, I just know of Charlotte, North Carolina. I don't know of anywhere else. But if they're going to build it out more substantially, then that's something I think that could actually help them. But we'll see. Now, the last thing I'll leave you guys with, and it's pictured here on the screen, is this whole concept of video becoming more important to Charter and Spectrum. Look, let me tell you guys something. When you're talking about how video is going to become an asset again, you're crazy, because people are cutting streaming services. People are reducing how many they have. They're choosing and picking, and you have Netflix and all these other competitors. Charter is in trouble. Charter is flailing in their core business. Charter is losing to an inferior competitor in, fixed wireless access and 5G home internet. Their biggest growth vector is an asset they don't own and they have to rent space on. Now they're saying that video is going to become an asset. I mean, some of the quotes from, the CEO are absolutely hilarious. They use, they got this like go-to video platform, for new subscribers. Charter's Life Unlimited packages that was introduced last fall, but they lost over 110,000 video subs in Q4. And they are saying that that's improved over a loss of 248 the previous year. Like, what are we talking about here? You're still losing over 100,000 video subs. And that's supposed to be something you make money on? You got to be kidding me. And anyways, let me know what you guys think of the numbers. I see a lot wrong. I see problems. I don't think cable is in a good place. They got to figure things out. It's not good right now. What do you think? Sound off in the comment section below. The voice of the people, the SMT Nation. Let your voice be heard. Like, share, subscribe for more. We'll see you on the next one.